a player, a former teammate from the Houston Texans, DeAndre Hopkins, tweeted today not tweeted on Instagram, posted on Instagram. You tweet on Twitter, you post content on Instagram. I'm still learning this stuff. Let's finish what we started. Absolutely. And again, I love this. I'm thinking, it's a picture of J.J. Watt and DeAndre Hopkins from when they were with the Texans. I see that 8 on the jersey, which was the tribute to help me out, Miles. It was the defensive back, Larry, not Bidwell. Larry, the defensive back who passed this year, the Hall of Famer. We'll get you. It's Larry Wilson. He's got the Larry Wilson. And so I was like, wait a minute, that's a mock-up again. What they're doing with Photoshops is amazing. J.J. Watt in the Cardinals uniform, complete with the Larry Wilson tribute, hugging DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know that the Cardinals are in the cards, but they're right kind of on the line of contending team. They had a shot to make the playoffs this year. They're at least contending for a playoff spot. I don't know they're contending for a championship, and I don't know that having J.J. Watt would make the difference. But DeAndre Hopkins would very much like to get back together with his former teammate. And when you see the things said by guys like Hopkins, by guys like Deshaun Watson, that is an attraction, because this is a guy who's a key contributor. This is a guy who's a good teammate. This is a guy who you want on your team. What Watson tweeted last week after Watt was released, he's going to make any team better. And that's the key. These teams are trying to get better, and the good teams are trying to become great teams, and maybe Watt can be the difference. But I look, until I hear something concrete that the Cardinals are interested, this is just a former teammate who would love to play with a guy that he used to play for.
Yeah, and I think that J.J. Watt, like you said, would make anybody better, and I think he would certainly make the Cardinals better. The Cardinals' defense doesn't necessarily threaten me, I think, in terms of what they can really do and how good they can really be at this point. I think that they do need some more pieces, but at the same time, I'm not necessarily sure why J.J. Watt would really be interested in the Cardinals if he wants to be on a team that is ready to win a Super Bowl now. I don't really see the Cardinals as that. I think they've been okay. Even if they made it to the postseason, I don't know that anybody really would have picked them to win a game once they got there. So Kyler Murray is good. I think we know that DeAndre Hopkins is great, but I think that they need some more pieces and they need to improve a lot more. And I don't think J.J. Watt is the missing piece for them in terms of contention and really being a Super Bowl contender either, Mike.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, it's going to be fun to see how it plays out. And even though he's now had a four-day head start on the open market, it probably is going to take a little bit of time, primarily because we don't know what the salary cap is going to be. Usually, in a normal year, we have an idea what it's going to be. They tell the owners in December so the teams can start budgeting. Then they lock in the final number in February. We may not know, as Clark Hunt, the Chiefs owner and the chairman of the finance committee, said before the Super Bowl, until hours before the start of the league year on March 17, what the cap is going to be. The Cardinals, when it's time for the salary cap to be set, will be looking to save some money, go a little younger. Patrick Peterson due to become a free agent. There was a report not that long ago that he's destined to move on. He called it a dirty rumor. Well, the dirty rumor is growing legs, and this isn't a surprise. It's just at the point where the time has come. The Cardinals unlikely to sign Patrick Peterson. He was a top 10 pick back in 2011, cornerstone of the defense, 31 years old next season. I expect him to go somewhere else. And whether he moves to safety, whether he can contribute at corner at the way that he has in the past, that all remains to be seen. I mean, plenty of guys have continued to perform at a high level as defensive backs beyond the age of 30. But I think that he will be coveted. But again, we're back at the same problem. The money may not be there. And I don't think Patrick Peterson currently is in that superstar category, Miles, that would cause a team to throw caution to the wind and say, we don't know what the hell the salary cap's going to be. We don't care. We have to go get Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's been like that for Patrick Peterson for the last few years. And he's still pretty much an effective cornerback. I don't think that he's going to go somewhere and then he's going to fall off a cliff and then he's not going to be very good anymore. I think he can be a good veteran presence, can probably help train some of the younger defensive backs that you might have. He still had 3 interceptions, 7 pass breakups there in the 2020 season. He played in all 16 games too. But I think when you're talking about it's time, this is is almost a little bit like J.J. Watt because he's been with the Arizona Cardinals for 10 seasons now. And, the Cardinals did get kind of close to a Super Bowl there when Bruce Arians was still there a few years back. But other than that, the Cardinals just have been one of these teams where, yeah, they might be in it one year, but other than that, they're just kind of a very middling to almost bad team. So I think for Patrick Peterson, it's now maybe time for him to go to a team where he can say, yes, I really want to win, and I really want to be the missing piece that puts this team over the top. I think he sort of does have the ability to do that. I don't think he's going to be, 3, 4, 5 years ago, Patrick Peterson, but if he's the number 2 corner on your team, you're probably a pretty good team.
The Kansas City Chiefs have an underrated secondary, and they have a close friend of Patrick Peterson as a cornerstone of that secondary in Tyrann Mathieu. That would be an intriguing development if those two would reunite, but plenty of contending teams would be interested. And, hey, this is one of the benefits of becoming a free agent. When you're in your early 30s and you've still got some gas in the tank like J.J. Watt, you can pick your destination and you can try to complete a career, cap it with a Super Bowl appearance and maybe a Super Bowl